Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching today. This is Good Dog Grooming and my name's Colleen. Today's lesson is going to be about brushing and dematting any fluffy curly dog. So the demo that I do later in the video is actually specifically on a doodle and on his tail. But I want you to know that the techniques that I use, the tools that I show, can all be used on any breed and any part of the dog's body. So I hope that this is a useful video to you guys, and I hope you enjoy watching. Alright, so I'm going to do the best I can to get through this information fairly quickly, but still give you all the information you need. So we're going to talk about 3 tools for brushing and dematting. The first is a slicker brush. The second is some kind of demat tool. Here's an example. And the third is a Greyhound comb. Okay. Mine is missing some tines. Most of them will be complete. It's just well loved. So let's start with the slicker brush. Slicker is just sort of the grooming term. That's what it's called. My goal when I talk about these tools today is that I'm going to have links posted to either the same or similar tools that you can easily just go to that link and buy that item. But if I can't find this exact brush, so I've got a similar one on Amazon I found for you guys. So I'm also going to tell you the features of each tool to search for, and that way you can kind of independently just make sure you're getting the right kind of thing. So for a slicker brush, you want it to be hard pin and ideally long pin. Hard pin is more important because if there's as far as pin length, if you get one that's sort of middle, like a medium length or something, that should be fine, but the hard pin is the most important. If you're talking about brushing like a fluffy, curly dog, you need the stiff, hard pins to be able to penetrate the fur pretty much to the skin. I talk a little bit in the demo about brush burn, but I'll just mention it here as well. Obviously, there's a little bit of concern of brush burn, right? But you don't have to worry too much about that. Dog's skin is tougher than people's, so if you can take it on your palm, the dog can take it. And I want you to just technique-wise, when you are brushing, to mostly focus your pressure kind of on this bottom half, but you still want to be using the whole surface of the brush, okay? You don't want to be, so for example, you don't want to be brushing your dog like this, right? And not even necessarily like this or anything. You want to be using that whole surface, but you also want to focus your pressure a little more down in that bottom section, okay? As you go through. And you're going to spend about $15 to $25 on a slicker brush. The Amazon link I have for you guys is $25. It is great, okay? Let's get into the demat tools. So this one's my favorite. There's they come in so many varieties and shapes and sizes, and but the essence of a demat tool is almost like a comb with little blades on each tooth. Okay, so the blade, I show this in the demo as well, but you need to see it twice. The blade is in the curve. Okay. And that's what I like about this kind, is that I can put this part against the dog's skin and move it along, because this part is not sharp. The sharp blade cutting part is in that curve. Okay. And they make what I call scary demat tools. They look like this. And there's nothing inherently wrong with those. They're just sort of riskier. You have to learn to use them right. And I've basically spent my grooming career avoiding using those, and I have been perfectly happy with this and one that looks like this. And that's only because they make these T-shaped ones, and what I like, it's not necessarily the shape. I do prefer this shape where the teeth are sort of perpendicular to the handle, but also just having a variety where this one has the wider set teeth and the other one has slightly closer teeth. As far as those what I call the scary demat tools, I know plenty of groomers who love them. Okay, so it's not wrong to use them. It's just an exposed blade rather than a little bit more of like a tucked away blade. So it's easier to cut like your thumb accidentally or your arm or something during a motion, or the dog or whatever. So that's all I'll say about those. Let's move on then to, oh, no, I want to say you will spend anywhere probably from $10 to $25 on one of these. Okay, just depending on what you come across. I will post 2 links that I found. I was looking for this exact tool. I did find a Walmart option for $20 that is either exact or like it looks to be pretty identical, and an eBay one for $20 as well. So I'll post both those links for you guys. If they still work, great. You know, like I don't know if how long that eBay one's going to last. I don't know. But the point is now you can search yourself for what you think would be best, and just take a look at how kind of wide the teeth are, and I like the slightly wider one for practical dematting, but there's nothing wrong with the ones where it's slightly closer together. Moving on to our Greyhound comb, you can see mine has 2 like teeth spacings involved, and this comb is about 7.5 inches long, and I see some, you know, it'll say 7-inch or whatever. That's what I recommend. Okay, they come in smaller sizes and in bigger sizes. I recommend the middle size. This is like my go-to, as you can tell, and that's why they get kind of busted. You're going to spend anywhere from $10 to $20 on a Greyhound comb, but it is pretty vital for brushing and dematting a curly, fluffy dog, because this is your tester tool, okay, and I'll show that in my demo. Before I get to my demo, I want to talk just a little bit about demat and brushing philosophy, which sounds a little like, oh, we're going to get really deep here because I just want to brush my dog, but it is important. Basically, when deciding when to brush out the mats or when they are too severe, where do you draw the line? And it needs to be shaved down, because it's going to be too much pain for the dog, too many hours, too much effort. It's backbreaking for the groomer, but mostly discomfort for the dog. So there is, and that may vary. That may vary from dog to dog. So, you know, in other words, what a dog will learn to sit on the table and sort of tolerate. It's the same with like kids, you know, when you're brushing their hair and they're like, stop, you know, it's like, you know, there's a threshold where it's just like, I can't take anymore. This little guy is a fun meme that groomers circulate. He's called the Groom Reaper, and his significance is, if you don't brushy, I shavy. We won't do it, okay? And so as much as customers will come in, please don't shave him, we want him fluffy, we love him fluffy. If you don't brush your dog, you'll get the number 7 and it's just a short summer haircut. It moves under most mats pretty quickly, and I'm telling you, like, I can shave down like a large doodle, you know, in 15-20 minutes, you know, shave down the whole body, or I can demat it in like 2 hours and hurt my back and my arms and make the dog uncomfortable, and that's what the customers are begging us to do. Please keep him fluffy, please demat him. And I'm telling you, like, most groomers go through a process where when they're young, when they're first starting out, they are like, I'll try. And we try, and then we hurt ourselves, and we regret it afterwards, and we have a terrible day, and we try to make the customer happy, and we still had to shave out some mats. I mean, the point is, then they grow up, and they get this meme tattooed on their body, and I kid you not, this is a common groomer tattoo, the Groom Reaper. And I think that's because, you know, they flip and they go, never again. I'm not doing that anymore. So humanity over vanity, okay? And that's for the dog first and foremost, and also for the groomer. And yourself, if you're just a dog owner, don't consider yourself a professional groomer. it's still, give yourself a break. Even if it's humanly possible to demat this dog, it may not be humanely possible, and that's the most important thing, okay? So we're going to take care of the dog first and foremost. So I did a short demo on this dog named Augie. I got to groom him. I do some grooms in my garage, so welcome to my garage here in a minute when you see this demo. So you'll see how I switch back and forth between these 3 tools, and you'll see some of my techniques. And these techniques you can use on more parts of the dog's body. Okay, this demo is just on a tail, and he is a doodle, so he's a fairly curly, fluffy dog. And so this will apply to other breeds, the body, not just the tail, and so on. So just enjoy this demo on Augie. He's got some mats. You can't see him. He's got some mats in here. A couple things about dematting. If it's too much, too matted, too tight, we shave it, okay? But if it's not too much, we can demat it. This is my favorite demat tool. For this, because it is dematable, I'm gonna hold, like, his actual physical tail is between my fingers and thumbs. Stay, Augie, good boy. No, come. Good boy, stay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the hair under his tail together so that when I start dematting like this, first of all, I'm not even touching his actual tail. I'm only doing this through the fur, and I'm meeting my fingers on the back. But because I am squeezing his fur at the base, kind of at like where it meets his tail, good boy, stay there. I need you to stay right here, good boy. Because I'm doing that, see if your tail's in view. Okay, good. Because I'm doing that, he doesn't even feel the pull very much. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Good boy. And let's work on seeing if we can get one of these out. Good boy. And you see it starts to kind of pull on out. You see? Just got this out. It's like splitting / pulling the mat out. Okay? And if I get enough progress, I can kind of do the rest with my actual brush. Need a hard pin brush for this, and it's a similar thing, but something that will really get in there. All right, but I'm gonna try to get the whole thing. You're a good boy. Yes, you are a good boy. Now, right now, his tail ends right here where my fingernail is, so I'm working past that point. Again, I basically don't want to put his tail at risk of being like grabbed by these blades, but it's a low risk anyway because you can actually have this against the dog's body like this, and only the smooth part, it's not a cutting part, it's not actually scraping their skin, contacts their body. Good boy, come here, you can stand up. Very good. Good boy. All right, let's see, where's the next one here? Do I have one that requires the mat splitter? Basically, if I can get it with the brush, I will, but I'm feeling a little too much resistance right in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and mat split that spot. Good boy, you're doing great. He says, can we please be done? This is pre-haircut. I'm gonna shave him down. I'm gonna trim his tail. Good boy. See, we're getting a lot of these mats out. Okay, and then let's see if my brush will go through yet or not. Good boy. You're doing great. Pretty good right there. You can tell there's a good one right here. And then I get my brush through it. So I'm not at a high risk of brush burning his tail. And brush burning means you just scrape so much with these teeth, which you can do for a while, but eventually, if you do it for long enough on really sensitive skin, you're gonna start to get redder and redder and redder. And if it gets bad enough, that's brush burn. But I'm not at risk of brush burning this tail because I'm really only brushing the hair below his actual physical tail. And I'm at risk a little bit of brush burning my own knuckles, which I'm okay with. I'm actually not going to because I can like feel that, but we can't feel for the dog. And so we just want to be as aware as we can be. Good boy. Brush burn.
possibility and potential. Good boy, stay right there. All right, let me see where I'm at. The final step of any demat, or brush out for that matter, is to test it with your comb. And I recommend a Greyhound comb or any kind of medium tooth metal comb. And by medium, I mean not too wide of teeth and not too narrow of teeth. You don't want a flea comb. I'll show you my Greyhound comb in a minute. Okay, I think I've brushed through. Come here, Bubba. Come here. I know, I need you right here. Good boy. All right, here's my comb. And this is it's labeled here, fine, coarse, it's missing a few teeth. Just ignore that. I'm gonna use my coarse side here to test his tail. And what testing it just means if I can get through it, see these teeth go all the way to the skin. So if I can get now, see it's not coming through, okay? It's not coming through easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my brush. The comb is my tester, okay? That's for any brush out or demat, okay? If you can't get the comb through, you haven't gotten all the mats out. Good boy, Augie. Oh my goodness, you're such a good boy. Now I think you just sat your tail out of the shot. Come here. Good boy. Oh my, who's the best boy? Good boy, stay. Made some progress, so let's check it again. Oh, okay. There's a mat in here that's really being a little difficult, so I'm going back to my splitter. Good boy. Good boy. Now this prevents me from having to cut those mats out. I could have taken my thinners in there and tried to cut some of them out. That would also work, and that's absolutely fine. You can shave the tail too. If you want to really, the easiest solution is to shave it. It just doesn't look as nice as a haircut after. But if I were to have scissored these out with my thinners, then I would just result, when I do trim it and it looks all nice, I would have some patchy holes. And so I was trying to avoid that because I think this haircut's gonna look nice when we're all done. And the mats were brushable. They were a little bit of a challenge, but they were brushable. It was a perfect demo tail. Thank you, Augie. All right, so let's check this one more time. Okay. Now, it passes the test if I can get my comb through it 3 times easily, not just one comb pass, okay? Because they're just wide enough teeth. Come here, Bubba. Oh my, who's doing so good? You're doing good. Come here. Good boy, Augie. Let me see this tail. I know. Straighten yourself up. Good boy. And I think I'm about there, so let me check the top here. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and brush it down and see if I can get my comb through from the skin all the way down. I'm telling you, this is why people think that they've brushed their dog, because they've run a brush over the top and they don't know how to get down below and test it with a comb. Because look, I know what I'm doing and I'm still not getting my comb through. It's just because I missed a little bit in here that we can definitely just go ahead and take right out. Good boy. Oh, you're doing great, Augie. Look at these mats, buddy. And also these mats can be prevented with regular brushing. Probably if you brushed this dog's tail twice a week, you would have never get a mat, I bet. Depends how active the dog is, how much they kind of run through the forest and like roll around in the woods and whatever things might kind of create more matting issues. You have such a nice tail, buddy, once we get it brushed. All right. That's it. You see, I'm getting this comb through easily now. So I'm confident that we've gotten all the mats out. There you have it. Good boy, Augie. Good boy, you blessed.
Alright guys, so that's it for that one. I hope it was a useful video. Remember to check the description for links to the various products that I mentioned. Don't forget to subscribe. I've got lots of other videos coming down the pipeline, in the works. I do have some planned about doodles specifically, and just many other grooming topics. So, thank you so much for watching.